Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam Stuti series. Today's shloka 12 of chapter 9, canto 4 of Dhruva Maharaj's glorification of the Lord. Tena smarantyatitaram priyamishamartyam.
Tena smarantyatitaram priyamishamartyam.
Yechan vadasutasruhrid grihavittadara.
Echan vada sutasahrid grahavittadaraha.
Ye tvabjana bhavadiya padaravinda.
Etvapjana bhavadiya padaravinda.
Saugandhyalubdha hridayeshu krita prasanga.
Saugandhyalukta hrudayeshu krita prasangaha.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Te, na, never, smaranti, remember, atitaram, highly, priyam, dear, Isha, O Lord, Martyam, material body, Ye, Dehu, Cha, also, Anu, in relationship with, Adaha, that, Sutta, sons, Suhrit, friends, Griha, home, Vitta, wealth, Daraha, and wife, Ye, those who, two, then, Abja Nabha, O Lord, who have a lotus navel,
O Lord, who have a lotus navel,
Bhavadiya,
of
your, Pada Aravinda, lotus feet, Saugandhya, the fragrance, Lubdha, have achieved, Hridayeshu, with devotees whose hearts, Krita Prasangaha, have association. Translation. O Lord, who have a lotus navel, if a person happens to associate with the devotee, whose heart always hankers after your lotus feet, seeking always their fragrance, he is never attached to the material body or in a bodily relationship to offspring, friends, home, wealth, and wife, which are very, very dear to materialistic persons. Indeed, he does not care for them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A special advantage in devotional service is that devotees not only enjoy the transcendental pastimes of the Lord by hearing and chanting and glorifying them, but also are not very much attached to their bodies. Unlike the yogis who are too attached to the body and who think that by performing bodily gymnastic exercises, they will advance in spiritual consciousness. So Prabhupada is making an astounding comparison here. So it is said that those devotees who are always engrossed in hearing and chanting and glorifying about the Lord, They have developed a great deal of detachment from their bodies. But the yogis who are practicing dhyana yoga or ashtanga yoga are still so attached to their body because they think by doing these gymnastics, they will advance in spiritual consciousness. That means even yogis are using their bodies to achieve that Brahman realization. They are not interested in service. They are rather interested in putting their body through some amount of austerity, or you could say in our parlance, a great deal of austerity, because we cannot imagine going into the forest and meditating for years on end without a break. So Prabhupada is questioning how will they progress in spiritual consciousness because they are focused on their body. Of course, this is not to suggest that they don't have a higher purpose. They are also seeking that higher purpose. But it is so easy to just do devotional service to the Lord than to undergo such great deal of austerities. So there is the comparison between true renunciation and false renunciation. So the false renunciation is called Falgu Vairagya. In the sense, it is based primarily on the bodily concept. True renunciation, rather, seeks to please the Lord and to use anything and everything in His service. So how to practically apply this renunciation, we'll see with some examples that we will look at from the scriptures itself. Prabhupada says, yogis are generally not very much interested in devotional service. They want to regulate the breathing process. This is simply a bodily concern. Here, Dhruva Maharaj plainly says that a devotee has no more bodily interest. Why? Because they have a greater interest now in pleasing the devotees who are always absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Even in yesterday's shloka, we talked about association. So association is so important for us to advance in Krishna consciousness. He knows that he is not the body. Therefore, from the very beginning, without wasting time in bodily exercises, a devotee searches out a pure devotee and simply by his association becomes more advanced in spiritual consciousness than any yogi. Because a devotee knows that he is not the body, he is never affected by bodily happiness or distress. He is not interested in bodily relationships with wife, children, home, bank balance, or in the distress and happiness which come from these things. This is the special advantage of being a devotee. This status of life is possible only when a person is interested in associating with a pure devotee who always enjoys the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord. So you can see even in this shloka, Dhruva Maharaj is emphasizing association. So association is so important for us to make progress on the path of devotion service. And I've always said digital association is better than no association, but physical association is so important. It really speeds up your spiritual development. There is another shloka, there are actually many shlokas. I will just go through a few of them from Srimad Bhagavatam itself. There's a shloka in Canto 5, Chapter 5, shloka number 8. And this is a shloka that Prabhupada very frequently references. Pumsa striya mithuni bhavametam tayor mitho hridaya granthim ahuhu ato griha kshetra sutapta vittaihi janasya mohoyam aham mameti. The shloka, the translation is, the attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the hearts of the male and female, One becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. A very similar shloka to what Dhruva Maharaj is saying in the 12th shloka here that we're looking at. In this way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of I and mine. So, in this particular shloka, in the 5th chapter, 8th shloka of the 5th canto, the basic principle is suggesting that the foundation of all of this I and mine is the attraction between male and female. And that is where all of that bodily conception keeps increasing. My husband, my wife, my child, my whatever you want to attach to my and I. So here, the Lord has come as Prishni Garbha and is showing his darshan to Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj, after his heart and mind and intellect is completely transformed by taking darshan of the Lord, he is talking about developing detachment. What great devotee has Dhruva Maharaj associated with? Momentarily, he had association with Narad Muni. He had association with his mother, who is also a wonderful devotee. So he is saying, by associating with devotees, you can make advancement. So much advancement that what is the ultimate result? The ultimate result is that you slowly become detached from all conceptions of I and mine. Actually, I was listening to His Grace Aniruddha Prabhu, who's one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. He was saying, much to my surprise, that when you love Krishna so much, then you will begin to see your family and everything through the eyes of transcendence. Then you will be ready to serve your family even more nicely than before. Because you will do it in a mood of service to Krishna. You will no longer think, oh, it is my duty to serve because I have this title of wife, husband, father, mother, etc. Son, daughter. You will no longer look upon it as a duty. You will do it as a service to Krishna. So it was an eye-opening statement for me that being attached to Krishna doesn't mean you artificially become detached from your family. You become attached to serving them in the mood of serving the Lord. So, Prabhupada very beautifully explains in one of the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, I think in somewhere in Canto 2. I'm not able to recollect the chapter and shloka. But Prabhupada talks about personal selfishness and extended selfishness. Personal selfishness is all about I, me, mine, and that includes your family unit. And this extended selfishness goes towards your society, your nation, your state, your, your Varna Ashram, whether you're a Brahmin, you're Kshatriya, you're Vaishya, then this becomes extended selfishness. So in the association of devotees, because they are practicing Krishna consciousness so nicely, you also pick up that mood to practice Krishna consciousness so nicely. So much so that all of your services become very pleasing, not just to the Lord, but it is pleasing to you itself. So we looked at the other shloka, right, from the 3rd canto, 25th shloka of the 25th chapter. Satam prasangan mama virya samvida bhavanti hritkarna rasayanah kataha. That means unless you keep hearing Krishna Katha, how will you develop this mode of detachment from I and mine? Tajjoshanat ashvapavargavartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukrameshyati. So, in the association of pure devotees, if you keep discussing the pastimes and activities of the Lord, it's very pleasing and satisfying to the ear. and the heart. And slowly, when we cultivate this knowledge about Krishna, then you become advanced. And your attraction to Krishna becomes fixed. And when your attraction to Krishna becomes fixed, devotional service has begun, and then detachment from family develops. So there are so many examples of devotees being detached in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. So since there are so many examples, you can understand how important it is for us to develop this detachment from this I, me, and mine. So if you look at Parikshit Maharaj, he was given a 7 days notice. You have to exit from your body in 7 days, an eviction notice. Was he attached to his family, to the kingdom, to his wealth, to the trappings of being in such an important position? No. He was so detached. He gave up his kingdom so easily, and he went in search of wanting to hear Harikatha. Why? Because he thought it is important for me to advance in Krishna consciousness because I have only 7 days left. He didn't say, no, let me set everything straight in the family side. Then I will go and search. He just dropped everything. Shukadev Goswami was in the womb of his mother for 16 years. And then as soon as he comes out, his father is chasing him, Putra, Putra, Putra. And he was like, what Putra? I'm gone. So much detachment. Not 1 minute he turned around to see his parents. He just walked away into the forest. Then you have Sudama. His best friend was Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not once was he tempted to go to the Lord and complain and say, do something. I'm in such abject poverty. But his wife kept saying, his wife is also a great devotee of the Lord. She kept saying, your friend is the king. Surely he doesn't want to see you suffer. Why don't you just go ask him for help? But what was Sudama's mindset? His mindset was not great. I will go ask for help. His mindset was, I will have an opportunity to see my beloved friend Krishna. So he goes, and Krishna very nicely washes his lotus feet, sprinkles that water on his forehead, takes that Charanamrit, massaging his leg. So Sudama is sitting in a superior position, Krishna is sitting at his feet. And the way Krishna embraces Sudama, it is said that Krishna only embraces 2 other people like that. That is Rukmini Devi and Balaram. And did Sudama think, oh yes, my wife asked me to ask him for something? He never asks. He thinks, I am so unfortunate. I am so fallen. How can I ask the Lord for anything? Why should I trouble him? And he is so happy that he got an opportunity to associate with the Lord. He just leaves without asking. So detached. His focus was on association with the Lord. But then when he comes home, he sees everything is transformed. His wife is looking like a beauty queen. His children are so nicely dressed. His house looks like a palace. Even then, he was completely detached. Does that mean he stopped serving his family? That he walked away from his family? No. Krishna gave him so much wealth that he used it in Krishna's service with complete detachment. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we come across the pastime of Kolavecha Sridhar. He was in such abject poverty. And Prabhupada says in West Bengal, everybody's house has a banana tree. So if at all you choose a profession, you will choose something that is not available to somebody else, right? But he used to make this banana leaf cups and sell it in the market. And Mahaprabhu would come and negotiate with him. He was in such abject poverty, but he had one specific duty that he never gave up on. That 50% of whatever he earns, he would use it in the worship of Mother Ganga. Mahaprabhu would come and test him, negotiate with him. Sometimes he would walk away with the banana cups for free. And still, he had such love for Mahaprabhu. So deep down, he knew that Mahaprabhu was the Supreme Lord himself. And he understood that the Lord was playing these pastimes with him. Such detachment. He could have asked the Lord for anything. He could have told the Lord, come on, you are the possessor of all wealth. Why do you need my banana cups? And why are you trying to scam me out of? You already know I am poor. But still you're trying to get the banana cups for free from me. So Sudama was so detached. Kulavecha Sridhar was so detached. There is another example of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife. After they become converted to practicing Krishna consciousness, they invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu home for a grand feast. And unfortunately, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law, Amogha, they're all Brahmanas. He happened to be there and he saw this luxurious feast being offered to the Lord. And he criticized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, you are a sannyasi, you call yourself a sannyasi. Sannyasi means being detached from bodily pleasures, and you are enjoying such luxurious prasadam. I mean, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and his wife were just in shock. He picked up a stick and chased his son-in-law away, and he wished death upon him that he had such a useless son-in-law who insulted the Supreme Lord. The Lord was there in Puri Jagannath. He was simply accepting the devotee's loving offering to him. He committed such a great offense that the son-in-law becomes sick with some terminal illness and became bedridden. When Mahaprabhu found out that he became bedridden, he goes to Amogha. He puts his hand on his chest and he says, you are a Brahmana, how come you have so much envy in you? Brahmana means no envy towards others. Whether someone is successful or not, there's no envy in you. So by the grace of Mahaprabhu touching him, Amogha was forgiven for that grave offense and he becomes a devotee. So like this, you see, there is so much love and attraction towards the Lord. And at the same time, great devotees also show so much detachment. So much so that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, I don't care if my daughter becomes widowed. I don't need a useless son-in-law like this. Let him die. For he has committed the greatest offense. Then in Shiva's Angan, when Mahaprabhu used to do the midnight Sankirtan, Srivas Thakur's son passed away and all the women started crying. And because Mahaprabhu was in such ecstasy, in such trance, Srivas goes to his family members and says, stop crying, you're disturbing the Supreme Lord. His own son had passed away, but he didn't want the Lord's pastime to be disturbed. But somehow Mahaprabhu, being Antaryami, he understood something was wrong. He said, why I don't feel the same way today dancing. Something is off. Then he chastised the Srivas Thakur saying, how could you allow me to continue to dance when your son has passed away? So Mahaprabhu goes and revives the son back to life. And the son glorifies Mahaprabhu and then goes on, leaves his body again. So see how detached Srivas Thakur is. He was more concerned that the Lord's mood should not be disturbed. He was not worried that his own son had passed away. So there are so many examples of detachment. Dadichi, ready to give up the flesh from his thigh so that they could create, the demigods could create a creature that would kill. Vritrashura, Bali Maharaj gave up his kingdom and asked the Lord, you please place your lotus feet on my head because that's the only space left. for you to place your lotus feet. So you can see time and again in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have such wonderful examples of great devotees being detached. Narada Muni, when his mother dies of a snake bite, he thinks this was personally arranged for him by the Lord so that he could pursue the path of devotional service. And as he walks away, he doesn't go to the forest right away. He walks through towns, villages, cities that are so much wealth, so much beauty, so much extravagance. Yet his single-minded determination is, I am going to practice devotional service. He didn't think, why did the Lord make me an orphan? I already don't have a father. Now you took away my mother also. So this is the mood of detachment that great devotees are demonstrating to us, that the most important thing for them in their life is to be attached to devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness, to hear from the lips of pure devotees, Harikatha. And then you can develop detachment. So much so, here Dhruva Maharaj is saying, when you develop this kind of detachment, you no longer care for them. So we have to understand this statement in the right perspective. No longer care for them does not mean you no longer honor them, respect them, because they are also Jivatmas. They are also the Lord's Amshas. Detachment means your first priority is Krishna, and in relation to Krishna, you do all of your services for the pleasure of Krishna, including serving your family members with love and affection as a service to Krishna.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.